If I were running the bankruptcy court, I'd issue an edict saying the darn thing can't trade, which would keep inexperienced investors from losing money on it. Instead, this darn thing traded 530 million shares yesterday and 295 million today. The whole float is only 140 million. That's insane. And it's not just Hertz. We're seeing the same thing with Chesapeake Energy, the heavily indebted oil and gas producer. Chesapeake's headed for bankruptcy because it can't cover its interest payments. The bondholders will repossess the company, taking away the common stock from shareholders, the same way Hertz is being repossessed, the same way your house or your car would be repossessed.
Don't miss a second of Mad Money. Follow.
Okay, so there was a video that came out for Jim Cramer saying why Hertz went up. And basically, he's saying that investors are gambling. They're gambling with Hertz's stock. They are moving the stock up and down, not on fundamentals, basically just pure rolling the dice or casino money, pump and dumps. And he also mentioned that in another video that this is actually very illegal. What they do, what the retail, I guess the retail investors are doing, pumping up Hertz stock like that. At least apparently that's what Jim Cramer said. So yeah, I mean it's interesting. It's definitely interesting. I think that Hertz is a short right now. Like that's my opinion. Like, I think Hertz is going back down to $1. I don't know if tomorrow morning we'll wake up and the stock will be like, suddenly be like $5. I mean, back to like $1. If tomorrow it goes back to around $2 right at open, I'd probably place a bet on it that it'll bounce, like a dead cat bounce, because it's literally lost 100% of its value in literally like a snap of the finger. So I'd buy like a little bit, like 1,000 shares, and I hope that it bounces back, and you know, maybe I'll make a $500 on it, maybe. Like pure gambling. Hertz is pure gambling right now. It's pure gambling. So if you know, it might bounce, it might not do anything, but if tomorrow morning if we still get around $3, I'm probably gonna buy a put option, and I'm gonna have it placed, like probably not the end of this week, but the end of next week. But if tomorrow I wake up and the stock is trading at $2, I'm probably gonna leave it alone because it could bounce, and I might even buy a little bit just to gamble that it could bounce, you know. But it's gambling. This is like the stock market in general is gambling. But this is like pure gambling, because this thing could get delisted and the shareholders will get nothing, just lose all their money, and the bondholders are the ones that get whatever they need. It's like the people who, the debt holders basically, they get what, they get basically the Hertz company, which is a bunch of used cars, basically. So Gamestop just had their earnings, and I tried to call in, and I tried to talk to them, I ask a question, but they left all the questions were all the questions that went through were from banks. They did not let me ask a question, which is retarded, but that's the reality of it. I'm not, banks are the big money, so they're the ones that keeping the stock afloat. So of course the bank people will get first rights to talk, and there's not enough time to answer every one question. So I didn't even get my question answered. Maybe GameStop will see my video. I have no idea, but if this ever happened, I think the stock would pop like crazy. Bunch of people would come in and pump the stock up like crazy, but that's my opinion. So we'll see what happens. I mean, I don't think they're gonna do this simply because they don't have the financial flexibility to pivot into something like this, unless they go and they find investors. They find investors that will support them, by diluting the stock and raising money and giving them the capital access to build something like this. Unless they find that, I mean, I don't think they're going to get into something like this, but if they did, I think the market would go crazy on GameStop stock. That's my opinion anyways. So the earnings weren't that great. I mean, it was okay. The one thing I want to point out is this is what I kind of liked. A temporary base salary reduction, 50% for the CEO, 30% for other people, chief financial officer, and the remainder of the executive team. Temporary reduced cash compensation for boards of director by 50%, which is really fair, by the way. So I like that because it shows that, hey, we actually care about shareholders. The company runs into problems, so they all accepted a reduce in payment. I like that. I don't know if maybe it's a PR stunt to help the stock price, but I don't know. I have no idea. The stock price is already so damn low that it was like they don't really need to do that, but they did it anyways. So that's good, I guess, in my opinion. But yeah, the earnings weren't that great. I mean, the one thing I like about this is the account payable. It went down to $212 million. I don't know how they got rid of that amount of account payable. Maybe they paid off some during the quarter. They also raised some money, so they raised a little bit more debt. I think it's revolving credit. Hold on. Borrow under revolving line of credit. So they borrowed $135 million from that quarter, which gave them $570 million of cash. So they built up the debt to over $550 million. But now they have $570 million of cash. They still have more cash than their current debt position, and I do believe that when the new generation of consoles come out, I think they will be going into profitability, especially around the Christmas time, and then following up in 2021. I believe that console sales are still going to be there's going to be a lot of people hunting for consoles. I don't think the supply of new consoles will go back to regular mode until the summer of 2021, because I think gamers are going to buy them up, and there's going to be a lack of supply for the consoles, and GameStop is probably going to get majority of the consoles simply because they are a game Pacific store, and Microsoft and Sony doesn't want to abandon them. So, at least in my opinion, I think they would get the most supply of consoles, so they would generate a lot of revenue and profits off it, because they also sell games and accessories and all that. So, I think GameStop is gonna do well in the back half of 2020 and into 2021. But when we hit 2022, I think GameStop business will decline, will be hurt really dramatically unless the company can find a way to pivot into another business. Until that happens, GameStop, the long-term future doesn't look bright. The short-term future from back half of 2020 and into 2021, I think it's going to be really good times for GameStop. But that's my opinion. So yeah, GameStop right now after hours is down 32 cents. I think GameStop, if GameStop ever goes back down to, $2.80 or $3 or somewhere between, in the low $3 or even below $3 is a no-brainer. I would buy so much, I would load up on so many shares if I see it go down to around $3 to $2.80. I would load the boat on it, because I think that out down there is such a huge opportunity. But again, that's my opinion. no, not financial advice. I think at $4, no, in the low $4 is a good buy, but I think a no-brainer is at $3. And the only way it could drop down to $3, in my opinion, is if more bad news comes out for the company, like, I don't know, they get sued or something, or something bad happens to the CEO, heart attack or something. I don't know, something traumatic. In order to, like, I think the only reason why it went from, you know, $4 to all the way down to $3 in a short amount of time is because of the stock market crash. But the stock market crash didn't really crash in April, so that's kind of strange for it to even go down to around $3, because it happened like in March, I think. So, and GameStop stock was up in March, so I don't know. Nikola Motors. Let's just end it off with some Nikola. Nikola is down $6.73. I am still a shareholder. I haven't sold my position yet. I am up over 100% on my position. I could go out and I could sell my position, but I'm going to hold on because, I don't know. Just, it's not a big position, and I'm going to hold on. And if I did lose all my profits, then it's a sign that I should buy more, because, once, like, I don't know where the stock price is going to go. It could crash. We can go back to $30 and I could lose all my profits. But if it goes back down to $30, I'm loading up a little bit more shares, because I think it'll bounce back eventually, in my opinion. But it couldn't. Maybe it'll just stay down there for a whole year and never go back. That's also a possibility. Maybe I'm being an idiot right now and I should be taking my profit. I'm going to hold on. I'm going to see what happens. But anyways, that's it for my video. Thanks for watching, guys. Subscribe for future updates and have a great day. Bye.